What's up, everybody? Z3KO Trinity here, back with another action figure review. And today, I'm going to be doing the head of Duke Thomas. No, I'm just kidding. But I am doing a review on this figure of Duke Thomas We Are Robin figure. Duke Thomas is a brand new character made in the DC Rebirth series. He originated back when they had what was called the 0 year, which is where the Riddler took over Gotham City and completely shut off all power. And he made it to where if somebody could trump him in a riddle, then they could have their power back. This was also a time of a really bad storm that was heading for Gotham, so everyone was in a panic and stuff like that. Well, Duke Thomas was a high school student, and he was very clever. So he actually came up with a riddle to stump the Riddler, and he gave Batman the courage to be able to take on the Riddler. Well, years later, the Joker took over Gotham City, what was to be known as the Endgame. And Joker, in his sick, twisted mind, thought, maybe I can screw with Batman completely by recreating the death of Bruce Wayne's parents. Something so tragic in Gotham's history. So he kidnapped the whole Thomas family and wanted to kill Duke Thomas's mom and dad and leave him an orphan. Well, Batman, of course, comes and saves the day, but it's a little too late. And his parents were succumbed to Joker's laughing gas, and it did permanent damage. Usually Joker's laughing gas would either A, kill people, or B, they could recover from it, but his parents never did recover. And still to this very day, their faces are all warped. They don't really understand what's going on. It is really, really sad. But Bruce Wayne saw things in Duke Thomas that he did with other Robins. Now, before we get to that, he first was introduced in, well, that was the first one, is the Riddler part, but his actual full character development started in a comic book series called We Are Robin, which is a group of teenagers that all became Robins who wanted to fight for the city, who wanted to do good with their lives and stuff. And some of them were orphans, some of them had parent troubles, but they all fought together and wore Robin uniforms. This is Duke Thomas's Robin uniform. This figure, by the way, this is the DC Comics Multiverse Duke Thomas We Are Robin figure, if you're wanting to know. But it comes with the nunchucks he used, like a gas, like a smoke bomb or something. But it has his really badass helmet, and of course the other head if you want to change it to his normal face. But I'm going to lay that right there for now. Alfred was the one who got together and funded the We Are Robin group without Batman or Bruce Wayne's knowledge. And Duke Thomas, out of all the group, Batman saw the most potential in him. So he, basically let him join the Bat family. But he did not, and I repeat, did not want another Robin. He saw Thomas as something more. Duke, sorry. His last name's Thomas. He saw Duke for something more and wanted something more than just a Robin. So, in the comics called the DC Comics Metal, he became known as the Signal. He wore all yellow, has like a black bat symbol on his chest, yellow suit, really badass. And I hope that they make that figure soon because I'm going to buy it. Because Duke Thomas is my absolute favorite character of the Batman family. He's my absolute favorite. But in the Metal comics, he found out that he was a metahuman, and he had actual powers. And they came out with a 3-issue miniseries called Batman and the Signal, which Batman fights by night, and pretty much the whole Bat family fights at nighttime. Duke fights during the daytime. Batman said he had the strengths and the abilities to actually go out in the daytime to fight crime. So the Signal goes out by day, and then Batman comes out by night, which is freaking badass, I think. But his powers consist of what we like to call photokinetic, which means that he is able to use the light of the whole planet and the light from the sun. He can actually absorb that and see things that no ordinary people can see. For example, he has retrocognition, which is the ability to see into the past a little bit. Like, let's say somebody was murdered in the alley and he just showed up. He can use the light from the area to recreate a little of the past and see things that had happened, like clues, or see faces, stuff like that. But not only can he see through the past, but he also can see light before it even happens. Basically see into the future, but it's not like years upon years in the future. It's like minutes in the future. But I'm sure, given enough time, he can actually master these abilities and be able to do some really good work. But another thing that he has, which I thought was the coolest thing ever, he has what is called weakness detection, which means that when he sees an enemy, he shrouds them with light. Just by looking at them in his eyes, he could shroud them with light, and that light can actually tell him what that enemy's weaknesses are, which is really cool. But yeah, the 3-issue series of Batman and the Signal are over. I think it is continued with his story in the Justice League, or no, not the Justice League, but the Batman comics. But I could be wrong because I haven't been reading pretty recently. So, but anyway, Duke Thomas is my absolute favorite of the whole Bat family. I think he is so cool. His story is really, really well written, and it's just a badass figure. So if you guys want to pick up that figure and learn a little bit more about Duke Thomas, please do. He's so cool and such a good character. And if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. And yeah, I guess that wraps things up for this episode. Thank you guys for watching. I'm Z3KO Trinity, and I'll see you next time. Skadooskies.